Well, happy Tuesday. It is April 28th, 2020, Journal 328, T+392, or thereabouts. I was editing, revising, I guess would be a better word, the initial components of the supplements that I'm building for Misfire, what to do when things aren't running on all cylinders. And in the course of doing that, something became really clear to me, and it was something that was missing. One of the things that the preface and the introduction of all the books in the series shared was an explanation of what was to come, and that really was comprised of a discussion of management and leadership within the context of small business operations. In the original case, it was for automotive shops and automotive shop management. But for the purpose of Misfire, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be small business in general. Although I may break down the books, but that remains to be seen. But the thing that was missing, and it was glaringly obvious that it was missing, was a discussion of coaching. And that was interesting to me. And what I wrote in the written description for the blog post is that, generally speaking, recognizing something that you could not see previously, something that may have been there or may not have been there that you weren't aware of or you couldn't make yourself aware of, is a sign of growth. I mean, if you can look at that later on and all of a sudden it becomes glaringly obvious that something had been omitted and it was important, that's a sign of knowledge, experience, and growth when it comes to your talents and abilities and your intuition. And coaching certainly is one of those things. And the way I look at it, and I'm not sure about you, but I'd really be interested in anybody who wanted to share their perception of this. It would be terrific, actually. I see leadership very simply in terms of it's the leader's role, the leader's obligation, really, to create the vision for the company, where the company needs to be, where the company needs to go in the future. It's the manager's responsibility to figure out how to get there. One is a matter of vision, one is a matter of mission. And in the original preface and original introduction, I basically said as much. Now, the thing that's interesting is that what was missing was the obligation to ensure that everybody involved in your team is capable of giving the best that they have to give. And that requires coaching. And it's almost assumed that people will do that on their own, but realistically, that's not the case. I mean, how many times have you seen that? Usually it takes coaching. And unfortunately, most small business owners, most small businesses have no specific place for coaching within the organization. In other words, there's nobody that has that responsibility in the org chart. And they should. If you look at it within the context of sports, now I'm not a huge sports guy, but if you look at it within the context of sports, particularly baseball, the manager on a baseball team decides who gets to play and who gets to play where. The coach's responsibility is to see that whoever that person is, they're capable of giving the best they have to offer. That their talents and their abilities advance, that they grow, that they become more capable, more confident as well. So in going through that revision, it became more and more apparent to me, and it's something I feel very, very strongly about. So strongly, I actually included in the written part of the blog a link to a book that I feel is critically essential to an understanding of what coaching is all about and how to do it well. So think about that for a moment. Think about it within the context of your own organization. if you will, and see if anybody has that role specifically, whether it's been handed to somebody. And if not, maybe it should be. Maybe you're missing an opportunity there. And then think about the fact that even within families and within other organizations, the role of a coach is probably essential, just as essential. Something to think about on this beautiful Southern California, relatively warm Tuesday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well, stay focused, stay home, and take care.